Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Alright, Lions fans, strap in, because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, but this one stands out. We've been hearing rumors, speculations, whispers from insiders, and now the pieces are starting to fall into place. The Detroit Lions are quietly making moves, and these moves might just accelerate their journey towards Super Bowl glory. But before I dive into the specifics, let me set the scene for you. The Lions have been building something special in recent years. The last couple of seasons have seen glimpses of a team that's ready to contend, led by Jared Goff, an emerging star in the making, and a young, explosive defense that's been steadily improving. The addition of players like Aiden Hutchinson, the draft picks, and the strategic free agent signings have all been part of a bigger plan. But now, with the offseason moves that are rumored to be in the pipeline, Detroit might be taking a bold step toward turning that potential into consistent success, possibly even deep playoff runs. You see, the NFC North is a division that's been in flux. The Green Bay Packers, once dominant with Aaron Rodgers, are now in a rebuilding phase, looking to find their footing with Jordan Love. The Minnesota Vikings, who had that surprising run last season, are still a threat, but they've shown some vulnerabilities, especially on defense. The Chicago Bears, on the other hand, are still trying to figure out their quarterback situation, although they have a lot of young talent and draft capital. So this is a prime opportunity for Detroit to strike while the iron is hot, to seize control and set the tone for the next few years. And it appears that some bold moves are on the horizon, especially when it comes to shuffling the roster and even engaging in some high-stakes trades. Now, you might be asking, what exactly is happening? Well, rumor has it that the Lions are actively exploring ways to strengthen their roster, particularly on the defensive line and at the quarterback position. There's talk about the team being interested in some veteran players, but also in finding that next young quarterback to develop behind Jared Goff or even compete with him in the near future. It's no secret that Detroit's front office is aggressive, and they're not content with just making the playoffs. They want to push for a Super Bowl. That's why in recent weeks, there's been a lot of buzz about potential trades, draft strategies, and even some surprise signings. And one of the most intriguing rumors involves a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the NFC North landscape. But let's slow down for a second. Because, as we all know, NFL trades and roster moves are complex. They involve a lot of moving parts, cap space considerations, draft capital, and team needs. Still, it's fascinating to see how the Lions are positioning themselves. Detroit has been known for smart drafting, finding value in the later rounds, and developing talent that fits their system. Now, it looks like they might be willing to go a step further, making bold trades to fill immediate gaps while keeping long-term flexibility intact. One of the key areas the Lions are focusing on is the quarterback room. We all saw how Jared Goff played last season. He was solid, reliable, and led the team to a playoff victory. But the NFL is a league where having a young, talented backup can make all the difference. Detroit has a young quarterback in Hendon Hooker, who showed flashes of brilliance before his injury last season, but there's still some uncertainty about how ready he is to lead the team in a full season. So, rumors are swirling that Detroit might be interested in adding a veteran or even making a trade to bring in a young quarterback with potential, like Will Levis, who's been gaining attention in NFL circles. Now, if you're a Lions fan, you know how important that backup quarterback position is. It's not just about having someone to fill in if Goff gets injured. It's about having a player who can develop, learn from Goff, and maybe even challenge him in the future. This brings us to the latest buzz, the possibility of a trade involving Will Levis. Yes, the Kentucky quarterback, known for his arm strength and big game potential, might be on the move, and Detroit could be a prime landing spot. The idea is that the Lions see Levis as a developmental project, someone who can sit behind Goff, learn the system, and eventually take over when the time is right. It's a strategy that many successful teams have used, drafting or acquiring a young quarterback and developing him carefully. Plus, having a strong backup like Levis on a rookie deal is a smart financial move, freeing up cap space and giving the team flexibility. But it's not just about the quarterback. The Lions are also making moves on the defensive front, which is a crucial part of their identity. One name that's been floated around in recent rumors is Tavius Robinson, an edge rusher who showed promise last season. Detroit is eyeing how to bolster that pass rush, which was a strength last year but can always be improved. Adding young, talented pass rushers is vital, especially considering the importance of pressuring quarterbacks in today's NFL. If the Lions can develop or acquire a player like Robinson, they could see an even more lethal pass rush next season, which would help them close out games and improve their defense's overall efficiency. Now, let's talk about some of the big picture implications. If Detroit manages to pull off a trade for a player like Levis, it signals a clear intention to be aggressive. It shows they're willing to invest in the future, even if it means making some bold moves now. It also sends a message to the rest of the division. Hey, the Lions are serious, and they're not just content with being playoff contenders. They want to be Super Bowl favorites. This kind of confidence and ambition is exactly what Detroit fans have been waiting for. Over the last few seasons, we've seen the franchise slowly turn the corner. The draft picks, the strategic signings, the coaching staff led by Dan Campbell, all of these pieces are coming together. Speaking of Dan Campbell, his leadership has been instrumental in creating a culture of toughness and resilience. His fiery speeches, combined with a focus on physicality and mental toughness, have transformed the Lions into a team that believes it can beat anyone. And that belief is crucial. When you look at last season, the Lions finished with a 9-8 record, just outside the playoff picture. But they proved that they could compete with the best, beating top teams like the Vikings and the Packers. Now, with some smart additions, perhaps a new quarterback, maybe an upgraded pass rush, the Lions could take that next step, becoming a true contender. And let's not forget the draft. Detroit has multiple draft picks in 2024, including some early selections that could be used to address key needs on defense, or even pick up a future star quarterback. The front office, led by General Manager Brad Holmes, has shown a knack for finding value and drafting players who fit their system. The hope is that they'll continue to do that, but also be willing to make bold trades if the right opportunity comes along. The NFL offseason is a time of strategic moves, and Detroit appears ready to make some waves. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the NFC North as a whole. The division is changing quickly, and the Lions are at the forefront of that shift. Green Bay is rebuilding, Minnesota is trying to sustain last year's success, and Chicago is still figuring things out. But Detroit is emerging as the team to beat. With their solid foundation, a young core of talented players, and the potential for some blockbuster moves, the Lions are positioning themselves for a serious run. The NFL has always been a league of parity and unpredictability, but right now, the momentum seems to be swinging in Detroit's favor. And this isn't just speculation. You can see the blueprint in how they've been building the team over the past few years. From smart draft picks like Aiden Hutchinson to strategic free agent signings that fill immediate needs, Detroit has been methodical but also willing to take risks. The addition of a young quarterback like Levis could be the final piece that elevates the team from good to great. It's the kind of move that could set off a chain reaction, raising the team's ceiling and making them a serious threat in the NFC. Looking ahead, the expectations for the Lions are sky high. Fans are dreaming of playoff success, of finally breaking through that glass ceiling and making a deep run in the postseason. And with the right moves and a little bit of luck, that dream could become reality sooner rather than later. The NFC is loaded, sure, but Detroit has shown they can compete with anyone. The key now is consistency, staying healthy, and making the smart decisions that can push them over the edge. In conclusion, what we're witnessing is the beginning of a new chapter for the Detroit Lions. The team is not resting on its laurels. Instead, they're actively shaping their future with bold moves and strategic planning. Whether it's acquiring a quarterback like Will Levis, upgrading the pass rush, or just continuing to develop their young core, the Lions are setting themselves up for a serious run. This is a team that believes in its vision, and they're ready to take the NFL by storm. Fans, buckle up because this ride is just getting started. The Lions are coming and they are here to stay. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. Do you believe the team is on the verge of something special? Are you excited about the potential moves, or do you think they should focus on different areas? Whatever your thoughts are, share them with us because your voice is part of this community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. We're all in this together, and the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!